Across deserts, cliffs, and forgotten coasts, humanity has built in places where no one was ever meant to build. Perched on river rocks, carved into mountains, floating above waves, or hidden beneath stone, these are structures that defy reason, yet radiate the quiet persistence of human imagination. Each stands as a paradox, fragile yet eternal, solitary yet deeply alive. Today, we journey across continents to uncover 11 surreal and lonely creations, masterpieces of isolation and endurance that remind us how architecture can be both a refuge and a rebellion against nature itself. Stay with me until the very end, because the final place, often called the loneliest building in the world, may just change the way you see solitude. Airplane Villa, Bali, Indonesia. On a sunlit cliff above Bali's turquoise coast, a massive Boeing 737 stands where no plane should ever be. Not in a hangar, not on a runway, but high above the Indian Ocean. Once a commercial jetliner, it has been transformed into one of the world's most extraordinary villas. Its fuselage gleams white against the blue horizon, wings stretching over infinity pools and tropical gardens. Inside, the cabin has been reborn as a sanctuary. Luxurious bedrooms, glass floors, and panoramic windows where passengers once sat. At sunset, the aircraft glows gold in the fading light, its silhouette hanging between dream and engineering. What was once a machine of flight is now a symbol of imagination, a grounded plane that still makes people's minds soar. Kućica na Drini, Bajina Bashta, Serbia. In western Serbia, where the emerald waters of the Drina River cut through mountains and mist, a tiny wooden house stands alone on a rock, as if balanced between worlds. Built in 1968 by a group of local swimmers, the house was meant as a simple river shelter. But over the years, it's become a symbol of solitude and resilience, surviving floods, storms, and time itself. Each time the river destroys it, locals rebuild it, plank by plank, out of love and stubborn pride. From afar, it looks unreal. A solitary cabin adrift in nature's vastness, reflected perfectly in the calm water below. There's no road, no bridge, no sign of life, just a house that refuses to disappear, standing quietly in the middle of a living river. Casa de Penedo, Fafe, Portugal. In the misty highlands of northern Portugal, a house unlike any other lies nestled between four colossal boulders. This is Casa de Penedo, the House of Stone, a surreal dwelling that seems sculpted by nature itself. Built in the 1970s as a mountain retreat, its walls and roof are fused seamlessly with ancient granite rocks, forming a structure so natural it almost disappears into the landscape. Inside, rustic wooden furniture and stone floors preserve the warmth of a simpler time, When the wind howls across the hills, the house stands firm, half home, half monolith. With no electricity, no noise, and no neighbors, Casa de Penedo feels like a forgotten relic of another world, a quiet miracle where human imagination met the raw patience of stone. Sveta Nedelja Island, Petrovac, Montenegro. Just off the coast of Petrovac, rising from the turquoise Adriatic like a secret whispered by the sea, stands the tiny island of Sveta Nedelja, Holy Week Island. At its summit, a solitary stone chapel clings to the rock, overlooking the endless blue. Legend says the church was built by sailors who survived a shipwreck and vowed to honor the divine. To reach it, one must sail across calm waters and climb a steep, rocky path, a pilgrimage more spiritual than physical. From above, the chapel seems impossibly small against the vast horizon, yet it radiates a quiet power. Each wave that crashes below echoes centuries of faith and solitude. At sunset, when the sea turns gold and the chapel's silhouette glows against the sky, Sveta Nedelja feels like a bridge between heaven and water, unreal, eternal, and profoundly human. İshak Paşa Palace, Doğubeyazıt, Turkey. Perched dramatically on a rugged mountainside overlooking the plains of Ara province, İshak Paşa Palace feels like something out of a fantasy world. Built in the 17th-18th century, it combines Ottoman, Persian, and Armenian architectural styles in a single monumental complex. Once the residence of Ottoman governors, the palace features ornate carved gates, domed chambers, a mosque, and a walled courtyard that glows in warm tones under the mountain sun. Its remote desert mountain backdrop and reddish stone exterior make it look otherworldly, a cross between a fortress and a temple carved from the earth itself. This palace is one of Turkey's most remarkable historical sites, yet still feels strangely unreal, suspended between ruin and legend. St. Mary's Tower, Camino, Malta. Rising defiantly from the barren cliffs of Camino Island, St. Mary's Tower looks like it was dropped straight out of a medieval epic. Built in 1618 by the Knights of St. John, this fortress once guarded the narrow channel between Malta and Gozo, a silent sentinel against pirates and invaders. Its square, monolithic design and reddish limestone hue give it a surreal, almost cinematic presence, especially against the turquoise waters of the Blue Lagoon below. Once a military outpost, later a prison, and even a film location, the tower today stands as a haunting, lonely monument, the kind that makes you wonder who ever lived within those crimson walls, surrounded by nothing but sea and wind. Setenil de las Bodegas, Cadiz, Spain. In southern Spain, where sun-baked cliffs meet winding cobbled streets, lies a village that seems to blur the line between nature and architecture. Setenil de las Bodegas isn't built beside the rock, it's built inside it. Whitewashed houses cling to limestone overhangs, their rooftops pressed beneath vast slabs of stone. Cafes, bedrooms, and balconies emerge directly from the cliffs, creating a surreal harmony of human life sheltered under nature's own ceiling. Once a Moorish stronghold, Setenil evolved into one of Andalusia's most photogenic wonders, a place where shadows, sunlight, and stone seem to breathe together. It's an unreal reminder that sometimes humanity doesn't conquer nature, it learns to live within it. Poenari Citadel, Argeș Valley, Romania. Clinging to a jagged mountain ridge high above the Argeș River, the ruins of Poenari Citadel are among the most haunting remnants of medieval Romania. Built in the 13th century and later reinforced by Vlad the Impaler, this fortress is often called the real Dracula's castle. To reach it, you must climb 1,480 stone steps through a dense forest, a journey that feels more like a pilgrimage than a hike. From the top, the wind howls through cracked battlements, and the view stretches endlessly across the misty Carpathians. Though mostly in ruins today, Poenari's eerie isolation and dramatic perch make it look unreal, a ghostly guardian watching over the valley below. Kosmač Fortress, Brahici, Montenegro. Perched on a windswept ridge above the Adriatic, the Kosmač Fortress looks like a relic from another world. Built by the Austro-Hungarian Empire in the 1840s, it once marked the empire's southern border. Now it stands in magnificent decay, open to the sky and surrounded by mountain mist. Its horseshoe-shaped stone walls, punctured with rifle slits, rise from wild grass and rocky cliffs. From here, the view stretches endlessly over the turquoise waters of Budva below. Nature has reclaimed the fortress. Ivy crawls through the corridors, and the wind whispers through hollow rooms once filled with soldiers. It's an unreal meeting of history and silence, a fortress in the clouds, guarding memories instead of borders. St. George Church, Tveri, Georgia. Tucked deep within the rolling highlands of northern Georgia, a tiny stone church rises above a sea of mist and meadow. This is the St. George Church of Tveri, a solitary sanctuary perched on a hill where clouds brush the ground and silence feels sacred. Built centuries ago from rough-hewn limestone, its walls bear the marks of both time and devotion. A narrow dirt path winds up through wildflowers and wind, leading to a view that seems to stretch across eternity. There are no towns nearby, no crowds, only the distant ring of bells and the whisper of the mountains. In the golden light of dawn, the church glows softly against the green landscapes like a beacon from another world. Standing there, you understand why they call it idyllic, a place where heaven and earth quietly meet. Elliðaey Island, Iceland. Far off Iceland's southern coast, in the vast emptiness of the North Atlantic, rises a small green island called Elliðaey. And on it stands a single white house. No roads lead to it. No other buildings share its view. Surrounded by cliffs and crashing waves, it has been called the loneliest building in the world. Once used by local hunters as a shelter during puffin season, the house now stands as a symbol of isolation and mystery. Myths swirl around it, tales of hermits, billionaires, and secret retreats, yet its true story remains beautifully simple. From above, Elliðaey looks almost imaginary, a lush green, tear-shaped island adrift in endless grey sea, with one tiny house guarding it like a secret. In the silence of the wind and the waves, you can almost believe you've found the edge of the world. From windswept cliffs to riverside rocks, these unreal places remind us that solitude can be its own kind of beauty. Each wall, each stone, tells a story of daring and imagination. Proof that even in the world's loneliest corners, humanity leaves behind a trace of wonder. If you enjoyed this journey, stay curious and explore the next adventure waiting just beyond the map.